Hello, hello. Happy Friday, YouTube. How are you today? I always have to double check the sound. It's working. So give me a moment. Let me go live over here on Hi TikTok. Hello, girl. Hold my hand and Facebook. Hi Instagram. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh wow, Facebook is not doing good because of the internet connection. So it's telling me it's connecting, but the internet is going. Everything else is connected. Let me delete some of these and see. Ooh, I opened a lot of things. Hi, hello TikTok. Hi, hi YouTube. Hi Instagram. Welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about our worth. What are you worth? Do you know your worth? Right? Sorry, I'm having problems with Facebook. Ugh, the life ended. Oh man, I don't know what's going on with my Facebook. So the topic for today is what are you worth? Do you know your worth? Have you taken the time to actually analyze yourself and who you are, knowing what your worth is? Rich Rising, hi Maisha. Welcome, welcome. Pleasure to see you. Hi, Buyaka. Buyaka? Oh, Buyaka. Kante. Of course, you're Gambian. I'm doing wonderful. Hello, Nurse I am. Hi, Nurse Shanda. Nurse Shanda Empowerment. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So, first of all, the reason this topic came to mind about worth was I was sending a package to my sister, right? I hope she would have come online, but these conversations, I don't think it's for her. She's not into it. So I was sending her a package and I paid $12, right? I paid $12 to send her the package. And then when we spoke on the phone, because I was sending her the receipt that, oh, I've sent the package and you're going to get it, the confirmation number and all of those good jazz, her response to me was, oh my God, you had to pay $12 to send it to me. I am so sorry. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this was me. This type of behavior used to be me, right? Thinking I am not worth receiving in general. I am not worth receiving. And many a time, the reason these things happen to us is either as children, we couldn't ask for help to our parents. We can't ask them for help. If we ask for help, they have their own ways of answering us. So we always feel and believe and think that no matter what anybody does for us, we're not worthy of it. Now, this is my sister, right? My blood sister. Hello, Ibu Jalo. Hi, hi. Let me try to go live on YouTube again. Not YouTube. I am really my grandmother. On Facebook again. I talk exactly like my grandmother. Luckily, I love her, so I don't mind. I took a lot after her, but my Facebook recently has been playing tricks with me, and I don't know why. Okay, now it's working. Stay like that. Okay. What's your worth? What do you think you are worth? Does it have a dollar amount or a material? Is there a limit to it? There's the saying of the glass, the glass ceiling, the ceiling, whatever they call it in terms of corporate and stuff, where women find it very difficult to jump over whatever that mentality and idea is, right? So when you look at yourself, all of us, myself included, right? Because this happened very, very recently. And so me having that conversation with her, it was a light bulb moment of, oh my God, the behaviors that my sisters are projecting out there or they're showing me is something that I used to do, right? So when you look at your life and you look back in yourself, people that you've interacted with, the relationships that you've been into, people that you spoke to, jobs that you have had, places that you've been, right? How do you act and how do you think? Hello, Amijan, Auntie Amijan, my mommy Amijan. Hi, hi. It's so funny that you popped in because the topic is related to you. Oh, she hopped off. Okay. That's my auntie. Hopefully she comes back. The connection has been funny. Right? When you look at all of that and you look at your life, when people give you stuff or people do things for you, how do you react? Or how do you think about it in your mind? How do you talk about it in your mind? How do you talk to yourself in your mind about what you are worth? And I can give you examples, right? Apart from my sister acting like that, just $12. And she acted like I was giving her so much money. And I'm like, it's just $12, right? It's nothing. You don't have to apologize and feel so bad that I had to pay that for you. But then it reminded me that my entire life, me personally, it was always very, very painful to get help from other people, for people to help me, to receive help. I can help, I can do anything for anybody, right? But for somebody to help me, for me to sit back and receive from another human being, be it a man or a woman, it has been a very difficult journey. So when I got on the healing journey, I had to think about why why has it been so difficult for me to receive help, for me to ask for help? Hi Shanda, thank you, love you too. I spoke to you about this when we were in Miami at the awakening, right? And so it manifested in my own sister too. It was just like, wow. And that was earlier this week, just her telling me, my younger sister, it just lit a light bulb in me, right? So I had to look back in my own family and the way that I was raised. There was no room for asking for help, feeling like I am worthy of the help or whatever my family was giving me, right? It wasn't like, oh, this is our child. She is worth this. So we're going to do it for her and make me or make the child feel that they are worthy of the love of the family. So for me growing up, it felt like I had to work for everything. I had to work to be loved. If I asked for help, I had to explain. And this is where over explaining comes into being, right? If you over explain, maybe your childhood, you had to over explain everything that your parents did for you, or everything that you wanted to do. If I wanted to go out with my friends, I had to over explain, because it didn't matter what I said. If I said the truth, I was lying. If I was lying, I was lying. Everything was a lie. If there was an event happening in school, right, and I need money for books, money for clothes, or whatever it is, I had to explain bit by bit everything that I was going to do with that money. Right. So I remember vividly, it went to a point, and in your healing journey, this is what you need to look for. They're saying you made a contract with the universe. There's that saying, you made a contract with the universe. I'm sweating. I was outside walking. Tess, you're saying, I'm guessing it's resonated. Let me know your story and let's talk about it, right? So there's this saying that we always make a contract with the universe. And good day, Afrocentric. Welcome. Hi. And making a contract with the universe is basically, there's a time that something happened to you at some point in your life where you said, this is never going to happen to me again. So you find coping mechanisms, right, to cope with whatever happened to you. So for me, going through those experiences of having to work for everything when it comes to my family, at a point in my childhood, I made a contract with the universe. Yes, you can relate, Tess. Wonderful, right? So that contract was that, number one, I was never going to ask for help, and I'm never going to ask my parents. Well, specifically, on my mother's side for help. But that sprinkled everywhere in everything I did. And because I didn't know, there were no teachings of these things. I was never going to ask for help. I was never going to ask anybody for money, right? I'm going to make sure I can work and do everything I can to get what I want. And that continued my entire life, from friendships, relationships, situationships, whatever ship it is. This is how I always acted. I once said a quote by this lady, I think she's a psychologist, I can't remember, where she said, when people tell her, oh, you are so independent, she says, thank you so much for noticing. It's the trauma that I went through, right? This idea of an independent woman, in my eyes and the way that I experience it, and from the study that I have done and the people that I have listened to in the field of mental health and psychology, it always relates to trauma and pain and hurt, right? It's a coping mechanism where at some point in our life, it was very difficult for us to feel loved and validated and seen by our caregivers. So you develop this coping mechanism of doing it on my own, which in our campus, content creation campus, we call it the lone wolf, right? Because they teach us that if you feel like a lone wolf, you cannot do this success journey alone. You need a community, you need a tribe, you need people, right? Ija, powerful, thank you. You need a tribe, you need a family, you need all of these things to push you, because we cannot do it on our own. Now, so you that is watching, myself included, because I also had that problem of delegation. That also comes from that idea of worth, knowing your worth, right? Some people find it very hard to delegate because they think to delegate, nobody else is going to do it as well as they can do it. Nobody can do it right. They have to do it. For me, when I learned that, I had to look back and realize that my own mother acted like that. It didn't matter what I did, it wasn't enough. Have you ever experienced that? Where the people around you, no matter what you did, no matter what you said, it wasn't enough. It was not enough. So you grow up dating men or women who made you feel not enough. Your friends made you feel not enough. The jobs that you had, the career that you did, everything that you did always made you feel not enough. This pattern for me started breaking uh, 5 years-ish ago when I was speaking to the director of the Early Childhood Center of my daughter, because she's been very helpful in my journey. She bought me a lot of books for Black girls and African girls and all this stuff. And I was talking to her and I was explaining and explaining. And she told me, she said, Yama, you need to be around people where you don't have to explain yourself. The moment she said that, I was like, oh, I know. I always had to explain myself. Always had to explain myself. This is all a part of not knowing your worth. I was listening to Abraham Hicks, and the person who was asking the questions too, he was over explaining himself. And Abraham was like, this is a disease, this is a societal disease where you think that you have to explain yourself to feel worthy of people listening to you. So what does your worth cost? How much do you have to work to feel like you are worthy of whatever is given to you? Right? Because for me, getting this package to my sister, and I saw my auntie popped in, and I don't know if she's still here. Getting the package to my sister and her just over $12. I had to message her back and say, are you not worth $12? Amplify your worth. But then I realized that most of the time, the way that we are raised to respect, it's trauma, right? The thing that we think we're doing for respect is actually trauma. And this morning, in one of the videos I was listening to on my walk, this person was speaking, Terry, I think it's Terry Crews, the actor. He was speaking and he was explaining how he was a people pleaser, that it didn't matter what it was, he always had to say yes. Whatever people wanted him to do, he had to say yes. He could not say no. And the horrible thing about that is there are some people in the world, if they know that you are that type of person, that's when they take advantage of you and ask of you everything and anything because they know that you cannot say no. So Terry was saying that he sat with a counselor, and the counselor said, if a director asks you to play a part or do something and you don't want to do it, what would you do? And Terry answered, he said, I would do it because the director said I should do it. I'm an actor, so I have to do it. And he said he was going back and forth with the counselor, and the counselor kept saying, no, you don't have to do it. No, you don't have to do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. And Terry said eventually Oh, thank you, Kevin. You need to post this message on YouTube. It's very powerful. I was like that. I couldn't say no. Yes, it's on YouTube, Oracle's Place, Empress Fire. I document them on YouTube. So if anybody wants to go back, you can always go back to the playlist. I make different playlists of the lives that we do. And I was like that too. And that is all connected to, do we feel that we are worthy? Do we feel that we are worthy? And can you say no and let it be the statement, right? But to continue the story, Terry said one day somebody asked him for an autograph. And that was the first time he practiced saying no. He turned back, looked at the person and say no. And the person said, "Oh, come on, man." And he said, "No." And in the video, Terry was saying he just went off because he realized that was the first time in his entire adult life that he felt or had the power to actually say no to somebody, because he was a people pleaser his entire life. That is all connected to our work. The idea of somebody saying, "What do you want to do in your life?" "Oh, anything." "What job do you want?" "Oh, I can do any job." "What work do you want to?" "I can do anything and everything." That's somebody whose work is this. I was like that as well, because I wanted to be loved. I wanted to be seen, right? I wanted people to think that I am a go-getter. I'm an independent woman. That's before I understood my childhood traumas, right? For people to say, "Oh, yes, yes, yes. We will help you. You are hungry. You want it, this, and that." But then it doesn't turn out to be like that. It doesn't. And the same sister, she sees what I'm doing and she likes it. She loves it. She said it inspires her. I told her, yes. One of the main reasons I'm actually doing this is to inspire my siblings, my younger siblings, so they know the journey that I have been through, so it can help them avoid a lot of things so they don't go through it, because I have already experienced it. So now the goal is to lay the foundation for them to see, "Oh, my sister went through that and now she's explaining it. Now I can go a different route." But she wanted to get her business and things going. She said she's asking for help and advice. And I said, "Okay." About business, I said, "Okay, so what business do you want to do?" She said, "Anything." I'm like, how can you do anything? And when somebody asks you, "What do you want?" or "What do you want to do?" and you say anything, how are they going to help you? I also asked someone in Gambia, "What business do you do so we can collaborate?" And he said, "A little bit of everything." And I'm like, "But how can I collaborate with you if you're doing a little bit of everything? There's nothing specific for me to say, okay, I can do that or I cannot do that." And when my sister said anything, I was like, "That's not good. Don't say anything. What is it in your heart that you want to do, that you know you can do, that you've always wanted to do?" And the whole, she had that thing and she knows it and she's been doing it. But this idea of having respect and being very respectful and very nice and people pleasing, right? We break down our boundaries, we burn our work just to please even family members and every single person. One of the things that I realize, and I've talked about this, is when people start to not understand you or start to say that you are rude and you are not nice, you are probably doing something right. Because when people used to say, "Oh, you are so nice," or "You are so good," that's when I used to get hurt the most. And now that a lot of people say, oh, you're so rude. There's this person that I connected with on another app, but I'm not taking his nonsense and the bullshit. I could see it. I'm like, you want to talk business? Let's talk business. You want to support my business? Let's go. But then he starts talking about other things and he'll be like, oh, you are so mean to me. I'm like, because I can smell the bullshit. He's like, wow, you are so mean. In my head, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm doing something right. Right? Because now you know your worth. Now you could hear, you could smell it, you could see it as soon as it gets to you. And this is not just for women. This is for men as well. It's both men and women, right? Because men get abused, women get abused. Everybody gets the abuse. But many a time in society, we just focus on women being abused, forgetting that some men were raised the same way. You are great. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Some men were raised the same way. They also were not told these things. The people that we label, and I have done that, I have labeled, I still do, narcissistic men, right? Abusive men. They are abusive because somebody abused them. You don't just wake up and abuse people. That is the behavior that was taught to you. So that's the only behavior that you know, right? If you listen to, what's his name? Shyamalan? Shyamalan? Is that how you pronounce it? Shyamalan, the God. He talks about that in his interviews. And I think he wrote a book about that. The way he saw women, the way that he spoke, the way that he acted out there, that was the only way he knew. It's the same way when you talk about toxic women or women who don't know their worth. The thing that I have noticed is many a time the people who can see this in you, instead of lifting you up, they break you down more. This is why people say, oh, society is mean, people are mean, blah, blah, blah. But it's a very easy thing. True, that's why I'm listening myself, been through it myself. Couldn't say no until lately. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. It's like, if I can see that in you, right? If I watch Maisha and I see how Maisha rolls and Maisha talk to people, and when we're together, the things that happen, blah blah blah. Instead of me being able to lift her up, there are people out there in the world who would break you down more. R.C. Blake's R.C. Blake's talks about this in terms of how men treat women like that and vice versa. And Shira 7 also talks about this on YouTube. Sometimes you see a woman and you say they're cold, their heart is cold because they are exhausted. They are tired. Even people say that about men, they're cold because they are tired, right? But it goes to a point where you truly know your worth. Nothing matters anymore. I have always loved wearing hats. You would never catch me wearing a hat because I felt horrible, right? I felt I had to present a certain way, look a certain way, act a certain way because that's how I was raised, talk a certain way, deal with people a certain way. And all those ways hurt me, but it felt good to everybody else around me. But then it goes to a point where you are okay with yourself. This is where your worth starts to come out. You are okay with yourself. You look beautiful just the way you are. Thank you, Tess. Right? You are so okay with yourself. You can wear anything, you can look anyhow, and you still look good. Today, this morning, we had that in our campus. The early morning, they are doing it in Amsterdam. Amsterdam, I don't remember the time zone, but for me, in the Eastern time zone, is about 3:30 in the morning. So I've been trying to wake up at that time to do it with them. And the professor was talking exactly about that. He was talking about one of our coaches, that coach can dress in rags and still look good. Why? Because that's who he is. And that goes to show you knowing your worth, you being okay with yourself naturally. Thank you, Maisha. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Right? Naturally. And I'm not talking about all natural beauty, and no, I'm saying naturally. You are just so okay with yourself, with who you are. Because when that happens, now you know your worth. Now you understand that if you talk to this person and then you leave and you feel so drained that you want to sleep, that's a sign that that's not a person you want to talk to anymore. If you are in a certain group, comfortable with your skin, right? Maisha, yes, comfortable with your skin, with your life, with who you are. If you're with a certain group and you, after talking to them, you feel uplifted, you feel full in yourself, you feel so good, then you know, okay, these are the types of conversations and environments and people that I need to be around. Because now you're getting to know yourself. Now you're getting to hear yourself. You're getting to understand yourself. Another thing a client said once when we did the one-on-one was, we were talking about communication, and she said she will talk to her children one way, but communicate with her mother a different way, right? And many a time, wearing a facade, that mask, where what you feel and your truth, you can't say it. What you usually would do is, I'm not going to talk about that, because you know what, how the next person is going to act. So you bite your tongue. Yes, being around the right people is also key. Yes, yes, it's very powerful because it's uplifting. It makes you full. It feeds your soul instead of sucking the life out of you, right? And the person said, you know, they always bite their tongue, they always swallow their truth, they can't say it. But then this is where we get all of these diseases too. And that's also lack of knowing our worth. Because whether you're a man or woman, you're always able to communicate your truth in your own way, without being aggressive, without feeling dormant or feeling bad or whatever. But it's just your truth in your own way of communicating. How the next person picks it up, that's none of your business. I picked that line from Lisa Nichols. She always say, how you see me is none of my business. I love that line from Lisa Nichols, right? But you are able to communicate your truth. How the next person feels or how they pick it up, that's for them to deal with and for them to handle with. But what most of us do, and I used to do this for so long. Hi, Nashanda. I just bottle things up. You bottle everything up. You hold everything up, right? Knowing yourself, first you have to believe in yourself. You knowing your worth, you have to believe in yourself. You have to know yourself. It starts by knowing yourself, knowing you before you can believe in you. Some teachers would even say to get to where you want to be, you don't even need to believe. Just know who you are and have the discipline, the intensity, the consistency to keep going. Because we doubt ourselves. Doubt will always creep in. Dwayne Wade, the basketball player, was just talking about this today when I was listening to him. He said you can get in the basketball court with so much confidence and so much self-belief, lose sometimes, and then that's it. Self-doubt creeps in. And so it takes the work to keep believing in yourself. So consistency, intensity, the discipline to keep going, no matter what is happening, everything is falling apart, but you keep going. You get to see your worth, right? For me, getting to this point, it was a matter of falling apart. Listen, I never believed in myself, ever. What helped me with self-worth is when I look back, I can see so many times that I could have killed myself, gotten so overweight, let myself go, lose my mind completely. But I'm here talking. And that wasn't self-belief. That was the discipline, keeping going, right? What E.T. says, you have to be hungry, being hungry. To now, I can look back at myself and know that the where I want to go, I am worthy of being there. Because it doesn't matter who you are, I can outwalk you. I don't know how, but if I know I want to be there, you want to be there, I can do the work, outwalk you and get there. With pain, hurt, self-doubt, imposter syndrome, depression, the whole 9 yards. I like that. How you see me is it's none of my business, right? How you see me is none of my business. Listen to Lisa Nichols. Lisa Nichols, she's a powerful speaker. She talks about that. She would always say a lot of people go on Facebook to get liked, but I wake up in the morning and like myself first. So your like is just a bonus, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have to go. I am exhausted, but it feels so good. I'm doing 2 challenges. I'm doing the 15-day challenge with Coach Stormy and the TLC, fitness. That's a fitness challenge. Losing weight for people who want to lose weight. I don't want to, but the challenge is exciting. And I've always loved working out. And so I'm part of that challenge. We're starting again. We just finished one today, the 27th. Yes. So we're starting another one in 3 days, the 30th. And then I'm doing yesterday for the people that joined, I spoke about Unlock Elevation by Marcus Taylor, Unlock Elevation. Thank you. Enjoy your day. You too, Maisha. And thank you so much for your cash app. Love it, love it, love it. And I'm also doing Unlock Elevation on their website. They have a 10-day challenge. Now, that challenge for me is a little bit harder because from the introduction, he said to look at 3 things that you love and eliminate them for 10 days, only 10 days. And I've talked a lot about how I love coffee, So that's one. So today I didn't have my coffee. Hello, Ralph. It's been a while. Ralph from Long Island, New York. Hi. So there's coffee. So I'm eliminating coffee for 10 days. Another one is my wake up time. So now I will be doing the 3:30 a.m. wake up. Oh, you've been sick in the hospital. I hope all is well. Sending you so much love and wellness and everything that you need. All shall be fine. So waking up at 3:30 to do the business mastery uh, live call in the morning and then not go back. Today I had to go back because I couldn't do my coffee. So I just crashed again. But in the 10 days, Marcus said it was going to be like that. It was going to be difficult. You're well now, back in the gym. Wonderful, wonderful. And the other one is that I'll be going back. So what I've been doing lately is just, taking walks around, being in nature. There's a jacuzzi where I am, go to the jacuzzi, sit in there. I will still do that, but now I will go back and restudy the content creation lessons that we have, go back to the drawing board, like they say, and relearn the lessons of editing that I have already done. So I'm going to do all of these for 10 days and then walking out as well. Walk out at least 2 to 3 times every day. And after that, I'll tell you the results and how I feel, and hope all of you can join me again and we can do it together. For me right now, it's not about fitness, body fitness, because I like my size. I like being toned, but it's more of mental fitness, which is the connection I've never made when it came to working out. You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by, Coach Stormy. Hi. Right? So I have never made that connection of fitness and mental fitness. I've never made that connection because my entire life, see, even as a child, I have always walked out, go to the gym, running. I used to hang out with athletes in school. But the most powerful thing about walking out, which is part of our checklist in our campus, every morning, they always, in every campus, did you train today? Did you exercise today? Did you train today? Before you speak to any client, before you do anything, I pray that you have a wonderful day. I pray you have a beautiful day too, Ralph. Before you do anything, did you train, even if for 15 minutes, for 30 minutes? Did you meditate? Did you do things like that? Did you move your body? And I can tell you it makes a difference because mentally, emotionally, it puts you in a different place. And most of the people who are on campus are people with money. And they always say you don't want to be a rich dog. You don't want to work unless you want to be mediocre, but you don't want to work, get all the money that you need and everything that you want, but your health is deteriorating. Your health is going down. You want to get up there and your health is up there with you, right? So I'll see you. I'll see you. Today is Friday. Oh, today is Friday. Wow. Lost track of time. I'll see you on Monday. Have a wonderful day, Afrocentric, and everybody that joined. Walk out, walk out. Train your mind, train your body. Those are the two things that are the things that you can control. Have a lovely, lovely, beautiful weekend too, Tess. The only two things you can control is your mind and your body. And maybe not even your body, but you can control your mind. When you control your mind, everything falls into place, right? So do that and join me in the challenges. Join me, the ones that starting on the 30th. Yeah, on the 30th. Join me in that. The fitness challenge. You can walk. They're saying that a lot of the ladies came out and their testimony, they were able to lose weight without working out or going to the gym. I am advocating for people to walk out, right? To exercise. All right. Bye bye. I'll see you. Let me